Hello and welcome to Beginner's Luck. Today is Monday. Yes, sir. Today is Monday, the first day of the week, which means it's Beginner's Luck. But my beginner is under the weather. My beginner is sick. My beginner, mi dulce principiante, suffered a contractura, a muscle spasm, spasmo muscular, the dictionary says. And so I am without a beginner.
Well, you are with one. Always a beginner.
But I'm with the beginner's husband. Okay. It's clear. If you can't find a beginner, we'll find a beginner's husband. Okay?
Yes.
And so that's a solution. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, the beginner's husband is not a beginner. However, I'm going to ask Martine for some copies of Mensana and Corpora Sana, and we're going to go, you and me together, we're going to go word by word with your pronunciation. Mm-hmm. Especially, you make at least half of the words you use, you accent the wrong syllable. All right, you accent it. So we need to come in and listen carefully because Guy Williams doesn't correct you because that program is based more on the content than on the language. All right, but we need to come in. Javier speaks English better than most people in Spain. And among the doctors, he's in percentile 99, all right,
I'm not
in
sure
English. But, okay, but we need to work on accentuation of words, all right. How do you say component in English?
Component.
All right.
It would be easier if the words in English had accents,
Yes.
written accents.
We should, really, to tell you the truth, books, special books for people in medicine or finance or engineering, books should be prepared with the accents to teach people these words. Pharmacist, pharmaceutical, component, etc. No. Interesting. Is it interesting? No. Interesting.
Okay.
And these things, because it's very difficult. It's a question of memorizing or simply being in contact with the word so much that you finally learn the correct accentuation. I understand it's difficult, but a professional has to know this.
Of course.
Don't you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so va a hacer las veces de beginner. Yes,
Okay.
Javier today is going to pretend. Let's pretend. Let's play a pretend game. Make believe that Javier is a beginner. Okay, am I sitting or standing?
You are sitting.
Where am I sitting?
You are sitting on a chair.
Yes, I am. Both.
Mm-hmm.
Probably you'd say on a chair in this type, even though it has arms. I'm sitting in a chair, yeah. Am I sitting at the head of the table or am I sitting along the side of the table?
You are sitting ahead of the table.
At the head.
At the head of the table.
See, yeah, I'm the boss here, so I sit at the head of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is there anybody opposite me?
No, there isn't.
Is there anybody on my right?
No, there isn't.
Is there anybody on my left?
Yes, there is.
Who?
Me.
Good. Me. Okay.
I am.
What language am I teaching?
You are teaching English.
And what language are you learning?
I am learning English.
Are you wearing a ring?
Yes, I am.
How many rings are you wearing?
One.
What kind of ring are you wearing?
A golden one.
A gold ring.
A gold ring.
Golden is como chapado. Golden, ante la duda, siempre gold.
I was poor when I,
Yeah.
when I bought it. It's
Yeah.
zapado.
Who gave you that ring?
My wife.
Did.
My wife
Who
did.
gave you that ring?
My wife did.
All right. When did she give it to you?
3 years ago.
Good. Why did she give it to you?
Because she wanted me to marry her.
To marry her.
To marry
Did
her.
you ask her or did she ask you?
I asked her.
All right. Did she say yes the first time or did she need to think about it?
She said yes the first time.
All right. She didn't need to think about it. And how much later did you get married?
3 or 4 months after that.
Okay. 3 or 4 months later or 3 or 4 months after that. Did you take a honeymoon?
Yes, of course.
Well, some people can't
Yes.
afford a honeymoon.
Mhm.
And where did you go?
To India.
You went to India.
Mm-hmm.
They went to India, ladies and gentlemen, on their honeymoon. Did you visit only India or other countries?
We visited Nepal as well.
Okay. How many days did you spend in Nepal?
I think we spent 5 days.
Did you
or
stay
4
in
days.
Kathmandu or did you travel around?
We stayed in Kathmandu.
All right. Was it an interesting experience?
Yes, it was.
All right. Would you like to go back to Nepal?
No, sorry. I didn't like it very much.
Oh, okay. What didn't you like about Nepal?
It's very poor,
Mm-hmm.
a bit depressing,
A bit depressing.
Mhm.
Okay.
and I think it doesn't have so many things as, for example, India to see.
All right. Well, it's a much smaller country, of
Mhm.
course.
But if you like the mountains and so on, it's the perfect place.
Yes. And so on, no se diría aquí. If you like mountains and things like that,
Mhm.
and so on is cosas narrativas, no cosas físicas como montañas. If you like mountains and things like that, then yes, of course, it's recommendable.
Mhm.
How many days did you spend in India?
10.
All right. Did you go to Bombay?
No, we didn't.
Did you go to Calcutta?
No, we didn't.
Did you go to Madras?
No, we didn't.
Did you go to Kashmir?
No, we didn't.
Did you go to Benares or
Yes, we
Benares?
did.
How do you pronounce that city in Spanish? Benares.
Benares.
Benares. Okay. And did you watch the people bathing in the Ganges River?
Yes, we did.
Did you bathe in the Ganges?
No, we didn't.
All right. All right. Why? Did you find the water dirty?
It was incredibly dirty.
Okay. All right. Did you come across a lot of poverty in Italy? In India?
A lot.
All right. Was it what you expected or more than you expected?
Much more than I expected.
All right. But you knew beforehand. ¿Cómo se dice de antemano?
Beforehand.
You knew beforehand that there was a lot of poverty in India.
Yes.
¿Y cómo se dice? Pero aún así.
But even so,
Okay. Or in spite of that.
Mhm.
Even so, you were surprised.
yes.
All right. Was your wife surprised too?
Yes, she was.
All right. What did you see the Taj Mahal?
Yes, we did.
Did you go inside?
Yes, we did.
Is it worth visiting?
Absolutely. It's worth visiting.
How long does it take to go from New Delhi to the Taj Mahal?
I'm not sure because I think we spent some days. We spent some days before
few.
in
Okay.
other cities. But Accra is, I imagine it's 300 kilometers from
Delhi.
New Delhi.
New
Yes.
Delhi. Did you move around by train or by car?
For some cities, we went there by plane, and for others, by train.
By train. Okay. Would you like to go back to India?
Yes, possibly. In 30 years.
In 30
40
years.
years.
Why in 30 or 40 years?
Because I imagine some of the new buildings and new facilities that they are building there are going to overweight the... No,
Hmm?
Van a superar, ¿no?
Surpass? It depends on the context.
Are going to hide all the poverty.
Okay. So the new things, the progress
Mm-hmm.
that is taking place now will eliminate some of the poverty.
I think so. I expect so.
Do you think there's a solution for India?
Yes, there is, because apparently it's a growing economy in the world.
It's the fastest growing economy. It's one of the fastest, yes, if not the fastest growing economy right now. Of course, it's easier to grow quickly from such a low base. Okay. But the Indian people have a lot of ingenuity. They are self-reliant, and I'm more positive in the long run about India than about China in the long run. Okay, now, is Madrid in the center of Spain or on the coast?
It's in the center of Spain.
How long has Madrid been the capital of Spain?
I don't know, 300 years.
For 300?
For 300
No,
years.
for longer. Ask me when Madrid became the capital of Spain.
When did Madrid become the capital of Spain?
I think during Philip II's reign or Charles I. I'm not sure. First it was Toledo, then Valladolid, then Toledo, and then Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it became the capital in Philip II's reign. Okay. How do you say reinado?
Rain.
How do you say llovía durante mi reinado?
It rained during my reign.
All right. It rained during my reign. How do you say las riendas de un caballo?
I don't know. The rains.
The reins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The spelling of the three words is different in each case. All right. Llovía cuando cogía las riendas de mi reino.
Mm-hmm.
It was raining when I caught the reins of my reign. Okay. Now, did you vote yesterday?
Did you? Sorry?
Did you vote yesterday?
That's a tricky question.
That's a tricky question. Ask me if I voted yesterday.
Did you vote yesterday?
No, I didn't. Ask me why.
Why didn't you vote yesterday?
I can't. Ask me why.
Why can't you vote in this country?
Because I'm not a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me if residents can vote.
Can residents vote in Spain?
Más uve.
Can residents vote in Spain?
I think we can vote on municipal, but not on community.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could have voted for the city hall. For the city hall. But I decided it was clear who was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I didn't vote. And asked me if I spent the weekend in Madrid.
Did you spend the weekend in Madrid?
No, I didn't. Asked me if I went away.
Did you go away?
Yes, I did.
Where did you go?
I went to an area
Mm-hmm.
called Las Batuecas. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
All right. Ask me where I spent Friday night and Saturday night.
Where did you spend Friday and Saturday night?
I spent it in Mogarraz. Have you ever heard of Mogarraz?
No, first time.
It's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me where it's located.
Where is it located?
It's in the Sierra de Francia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Sierra de Francia?
Yes,
Okay.
in my geography classes 20 years ago.
Yes. Ask me what river passes through that area.
What river passes through that area?
The Rio Francia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ask me what the most important spot is in that area.
What's the most important spot in that area?
Area.
Area.
Not area. There are many important places there for tourism. Probably the mountain Peña de Francia. Have you ever heard of Peña de Francia?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever been there?
No, I think I haven't been there.
Okay, well, it's a place to go with Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Although Peña de Francia, you can be there for only 10 minutes. You've seen enough, but still, it's worth going to see. All right, it's very high, and you can see all the way to Salamanca.
Mm-hmm.
You can see all the way to Extremadura, all the way to Avila, all the way to Portugal. It's very high. Ask me how high this mountain is.
How high is that mountain?
It's about 1,700 meters or 1,800. However, it's very high and has a beautiful view. And ask me where I stayed in Mogarraz.
Where did you stay in Mogarraz?
I stayed in what they call La Villa de Mogarraz.
Mm-hmm.
Spa. Hotel and spa. Ask me if I used the spa.
Did you use the spa?
Yes. Ask me if I'm a fan of spas.
Are you a fan of spas?
Not necessarily, but if there's a spa in a hotel, I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll use it, sometimes I won't. Ask me if it's a nice hotel.
Is it a nice hotel?
Yes, it was nice. It was nice. Ask me if we had a nice room.
Did you have a nice room?
Yes, we did. Ask me if we had a nice view from the room.
Did you have a nice view from the room?
Yes, a very nice view. The valley of Mogarraz in that area is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This area of Spain, the Sierra de Francia, is an area that many people know, but a lot of people have never gone there. Okay, and it's una comarca de la provincia de Salamanca. It's in the Salamanca, and it's near Béjar. It's equidistant between Ciudad Rodrigo, Béjar, and Salamanca City.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the Valle de Batuecas, and then you're in Las Urdes, in the north of Cáceres. So it's an interesting area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ask me how many times I've been to this area.
How many times have you been to that area?
Quite a few times. I've been to that area quite a few times. And ask me when the first time was I went to this area.
When was the first time you went to that area?
The first time I went to that area was in July 1974.
Wow.
Yes. And I went to that area and visited Mogarraf. I remember Miranda del Castañar, La Alberca, Peña de Francia, Tamames, I remember, and Salamanca.
Mm-hmm.
Asked me where I was going.
Where were you going?
I was simply driving around Spain. Asked me who I was with.
Who were you with?
2 American girls.
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting story. When I finished my studies in the States, I decided to come back to Spain. I had spent a year here previously, my 3rd year of the university, studying in Madrid. And when I finished my 4th year in Texas, I decided to come back. I drove from Texas to Atlanta, a 3-day drive, where my sister was living. I sold my car there, and I caught a flight from Atlanta to London. Atlanta, New York, London. I spent a week or 2 in London, living in the house of the parents of a classmate of mine at the University of Texas. And then I went to Paris, spent 2 weeks in Paris. And then finally, decided to come to Madrid and to start my life here, to start living here for at least 2 years. The idea was to live here for at least 2 years. And I didn't have any place to stay. So I was going to find a pension, probably Pension Triana, all right, on Gran Via, because I knew it from before. That's Gracia de Triana. She was a singer, and she was the owner. She was about 70 years old. And she had a pension, not on Gran Via, but on one street from Gran Via. And but I stopped first and went to the house of a friend, a Spanish friend, who was a comentarista taurino at that time. I don't remember where. It was because it was before Diario 16. But he was a journalist, and he still is a journalist. And I went to his house to say hello because we were good friends. And there were 2 American girls, in the living room. And we started chatting, started talking. And I said, "What are your plans?" And they said, "We're leaving today." "For where?" "We're going to travel around Spain." Interesting. How? "By train." "Okay." "Well, if we rent a car among 3 of us and share the cost, it's even much cheaper than going by train, and we have more autonomy." And they said, "Yeah, it's true. Yeah, dividing it by 3. So you would go?" "Yeah, sure." And so we rented a car half an hour later or 1 hour later in the Argüelles area, because Atesa was the name. And we, and asked me how much time we spent traveling around Spain.
How much time did you spend traveling around Spain?
About 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Asked me why I proposed that solution for the girls.
Why did you propose that solution for the girls?
Because one of them was really good looking.
And the other one?
She was okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and so asked me if I had a good time.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah. Asked me where we went.
Did you succeed?
I'll tell you during the break. Asked me where we went on the first day.
Where did you go during the first
on
the first day?
To Avila.
Mm-hmm.
And the second day we went to this area, to La Alberca and Mogarraf, Peña de Francia.
Where did you spend the nights
In cheap hostels,
Mhm.
cheap hotels, the cheapest we could find. Ask me how much it cost at that time
How much did it cost to
At-
spend
to spend the night.
To spend the night.
At that time,
that time.
it was very inexpensive. In 1972, before Franco's death, before the transition, and especially before the oil embargo, the impact of the oil embargo in 1973, the prices in Spain were tirados. It was just very, very cheap. And we could spend the night for €1, €2, 100 pesetas,
Mhm.
you know. It was very, very cheap. Ask me how much the metro cost in Madrid.
How much did the metro cost in Madrid?
When I came in 1972, it was 4 pesetas a ticket. That's two and a half cents. Now it's €1.
Mhm.
Inflation has been high for the public transport. And in spite of that, public transport in Spain is cheap
Yes, it is.
compared to other countries, and
Mhm.
good, usually. At least in the city of Madrid, it's excellent. In Barcelona, it's better than many years ago. But in Madrid, the public transport system is excellent in reliability. The bus system less, because the buses are subject to traffic problems. But the subway, the underground in Madrid, is reliable. You can usually count on arriving at the time you expect.
Mhm.
So you can be punctual. But nevertheless, that trip was a very interesting trip. It started in Madrid, passed through Salamanca, up through Zamora, and up to Asturias and Cantabria, and across, all the way across to Cadaqués, crossing
Wow.
the north of Spain. It was nice. And then I said goodbye to the girls in Barcelona
Mhm.
because they were returning to the States, and asked me how I came back to Madrid.
How did you come back to Madrid?
Hitchhiked. I left the car in Barcelona in the same agency and hitchhiked back. And I had trouble hitchhiking. I was surprised. Of course, I was hitchhiking alone. I had hitchhiked a lot in Spain, but with a girl. And it was easier because the truck drivers always stopped for the females. And I tagged along. But it took me 2 days to get back, hitchhiking, etc. So, this weekend, I was in Mogarraz, in the Hotel Villa de Mogarraz. It was a spa. And asked me how much time I spent in the spa.
How much time did you spend in the spa?
About an hour and a half or 2 hours, playing around in the water. Asked me if I like to swim.
Do you like to swim?
Yes, I do. I like to spend time in the water. Asked me if it was a big spa.
Was it a big spa? Was it a big spa?
Ahora, enlaza, escucha. Was it a big... ¿Cómo se dice big con ese? Big spa.
Was it a big spa?
All right. No, it was normal size. It was small, relatively small, but it was enough. All right, to relax, to enjoy. Asked me if they offered me a massage.
Did they offer you a massage?
Yes, they did. Asked me if I accepted.
Did you accept?
No entendido.
Did you accept?
Good. Accept? No. Aseptico? No. Did you accept? Repeat.
Did you accept?
No, I didn't. Asked me why.
Why didn't you accept?
Because I never accept massages. Asked me why.
Why don't you ever accept massages?
Because I don't like them.
Mhm.
I don't know. Ask me how many times I have had a massage.
How many times have you had a massage?
In my life, maybe 6 times only. And they don't, first of all, they've never done anything to me. Some massages say, now this you will notice. I'd never notice anything. And I especially remember, what do you call an osteopath,
Mhm.
who told me, well, don't worry, you'll notice a tremendous difference between nothing. I think my mind exercises too much control over my body.
Mhm.
It's a tyrant. And so people cannot change, you know. It's true, because even when I drink too much and the alcohol, my mind still controls. I rarely in my life have done something stupid because I was drunk. Rarely. My mind usually controls. Everywhere, even in the bedroom. Mine controls too much. So, yeah. So I turned down. I refused the massage. Okay. And have you ever received a massage?
I don't think so.
Never in your life.
No. Well, not from a professional.
All right. So you don't like massages either?
Not very much.
All right. You don't like people you don't know to be touching you, right?
I prefer touching people, not being touched.
All right. Okay. I had a massage a couple of times for sports. That's different because they massage one area, when I was running. But even that didn't help. Yeah, even that didn't help. So I'm not convinced. Although I'm sure it helps a lot of people very much. The osteopath where I went, my wife and everybody in my wife's extended family go there. My mother-in-law, cousins, nephews, nieces, they all go to Manuel, I think his name is, and they swear by him. To swear by somebody means, vamos, encantados. It's an interesting expression, very common. To swear is jurar, all right, to swear. But to swear by somebody means ser un entusiasta de, all right? Tener una fe ciega. They swear by him. And so I tried him, said, okay, I'll go. And he spent an hour with me working different parts of my body. And he said, this, you will notice, this will no longer, same. I walked out the same way I walked in. I don't know. But I must be a strange case. Atípico. Abnormal. Yeah. An abnormal case. Okay, so ask me when I left for Mogarraz.
When did you leave for Mogarraz?
I left at 3 o'clock. Ask me what time I got there.
What time did you get there?
I got there at 6. Ask me if I drove fast.
Did you drive fast?
No, I didn't. Ask me if I broke the speed limit.
Did you break the speed limit?
A little bit, but not too much. All right. Ask me how fast I drove on the highways.
How fast do you drive?
Did you?
How fast did you drive on
the highways?
On the highways.
I drove at about 120, 125, which is now is 10 or 15 kilometers above the speed limit. Ask me if I got caught.
Were you
Did
caught?
you get?
Did you get caught?
No, I didn't. Ask me if the police stopped me.
Did the police stop you?
Escucha. Did the police stop you? Did the police stop you?
Did the police stop you?
Hay que enlazar cuando uno. Did the police stop you? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Ask me if it was raining along the way.
Was it raining along the way?
It was sprinkling. What does sprinkle mean?
Chispeando.
Right. Sprinkle also means rociar con gotas. For example, if you don't have a steam iron, you sprinkle some water on the clothes before ironing them. Have you ever ironed clothes?
Yes.
You have?
Not very often. Not very often.
Con te también está bien, eh? Often or often. You can say both. Although I'm convinced it's not correct to say often. But I think 30% of the population or 40% says it. Or less. Maybe 10%. I don't know. Often is by far the common usage. Often. Soften, suavizar. Soften, te muda. ¿Con qué frecuencia suavizas tu ropa? How often do you soften your clothes? Repeat.
How often do you soften your clothes?
Me, never. I have used a softener. Occasionally, yeah. I've washed my clothes 500 times in my life. But using a softener, I think only once or twice. Ask me when the last time I washed my clothes myself.
When was the last time you washed your clothes yourself?
About a month ago, but not my clothes in general, just socks and underwear or something. I wash them myself. Okay. And if I wash a shirt, I simply get into the shower and take a shower. Take off my shirt and hang it. It's the quickest way. Have you tried that way?
No, I have tried it in the...
Tried it
in the car wash.
Really?
Yes.
I've never tried that. walk instead. Your car goes automatically.
Yeah.
You simply get out of the car and walk behind it. All right, and enjoy a good wash. Okay, let's take a break.